When it comes to the Steelers and Baltimore Ravens, and those two teams, anytime they clash on the gridiron, you're going to get a hell of a war. It doesn't matter how good the teams are. It doesn't really matter, what the difference is in the personnel. When those two teams take the field, you get some of the bloodiest games in the history of the NFL. 2008 AFC title game, 2010 divisional playoff game, and pretty much every regular season game they play, because all these games are so close. The 2008 regular season, two really close down to the wire games. But this year it's a little bit of a different feel for both teams. Neither team is playing particularly well, and they're both struggling. The Steelers being 1-4 and the Ravens being 3-3. So when they lock horns on Heinz Field this Sunday, one team's potentially looking at seeing its season end just 5-6 weeks into the season. Another team's looking at possibly still contending for a playoff spot. The Ravens at 3-3 have not looked like their Super Bowl self from the previous year. They've been inconsistent. They've been mired in their own mistakes on offense. Joe Flacco, the quarterback, who was paid more money than Bill Gates in the offseason, has thrown more interceptions and touchdown passes. And the defense has not played up to standards as well either. The Steelers, on the other hand, have not played up to standards in any asset of the game. They've been slow off the ball. The defense has been pushed around the running game. They've not gotten as many turnovers, but getting a win last week against the Jets I thought was huge because it proved this team as a whole can still win games. I know one win doesn't necessarily save a season, but it can help to start a turnaround. These division rivalries bring out the best in these teams. I mean, there are no exceptions. And the way this game plays out is that if the Ravens really want to win it, then they got to get a better game out of Flacco, because if he plays the way he's played the last few games, when he had that 5-interception game up in Buffalo, if he plays games like that, then they're not even going to come close. But if he plays a game where he goes out, maybe throws 2 touchdowns, maybe a pick, they can win the game. I foresee it happening. He's just not playing the way he did in the playoffs. And I was saying it from the get-go. $120 million for that guy is just way, way too much of a price tag for them to pay. And the Steelers are starting to register some splash plays on defense, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Ravens counter Troy Polamalu, who's playing some of the best football of his career at this point. You've got Ryan Clark, who's still as good as ever. You've got the young guys such as Jarvis Jones. You've got Lamar Woodley on the edge, who's always been a terror for the Ravens and always been a thorn in Joe Flacco's side. But the way I see it, if these two teams are as bad as I think they are this year, and it comes down to the wire, then I'm going to take the guy with the Super Bowl rings, with the 2 Super Bowl rings, over the guy with just 1. I think the Steelers will win this game. I think that they're a little bit more balanced right now than the Ravens are on offense and defense, because I know the statistics will not tell you that. But if you look at their recent play, the Steelers the last 2 weeks have started to play better. You eliminate the mistakes, and they have 2 straight wins. The Ravens have been winning in spite of their mistakes, but I feel that this weekend is the game. I think this is the Steelers' first time they beat the Ravens at Heinz Field since the 2010 divisional playoffs. If they play well, then they can do it. If not, well, then the Ravens are going to improve to 4-3. But I don't foresee the Ravens being as banged up and average as they are coming into Pittsburgh and getting a win. I predict the Steelers to win 20-17. As for the rest of the games in the NFL this weekend, we have a whole slate of interesting games for this weekend. Last night we saw an interesting game between Arizona and Seattle. I'll be talking about that later, but going week by week for these games. The first game on Sunday, we have Tampa Bay at Atlanta, and I like the Falcons to finally get a win for the first time in what seemed like forever. And I think that because Tampa Bay, it's not so much Atlanta's going to be that much better. I just think Tampa Bay's a bad team. They're a real bad team. Greg Schiano's not going to last the season as head coach, and Mike Glennon won't beat the Falcons. Give me Atlanta. I like Detroit over Cincinnati in the Motor City because I think they'll be able to take advantage of using Reggie Bush on screen passes against the Cincinnati front. The front 7 of Cincinnati is very, very talented and very good at rushing the passer, but I don't feel that they're going to have enough, to get to Matt Stafford. Buffalo at Miami, Thad Lewis is the quarterback for the Bills. And Miami's got a pretty good team with Ryan Tannehill and Mike Wallace. I'll go with Miami because I felt they're just at home, and I think that gives them an advantage. Then we have is New England at New York, and I'm probably the lone person on this, but I'm picking the Jets in this game because the Patriots lost Vince Wilfork already for the season. The New York, they just lost Gerard Mayo with an arm injury for the season. He was the only real defensive player that they had that was that obscenely talented, and he made up for a lot of flaws in that defense. I think the Jets will find success running the football, and I think they come close to tying the Patriots in the AFC East with a victory. I like Philly over Dallas because I know Dallas is playing real good football. They just beat the Redskins on Sunday night. But losing to Marcus Ware hurts, and that's really going to help the Eagles because Nick Foles maybe is starting, and he is not as mobile as Michael Vick. So you don't want to have to worry about facing the Marcus Ware, the quarterback, who's not as mobile as Vick. So I like Philly. I think LaShawn McCoy is a good game, and I think the Philly defense gets a few turnovers in this win. Romo's due for a bad game. You got Washington against Chicago. I like the Bears going to the nation's capital. Since the government shutdown's over and the Redskins have pretty much sucked this year, does that mean that the Redskins will start doing good now the government's working? I better hope so because they've not looked good so far this year, 1-4. I like Chicago to go in there and take a big victory. Following that, you have St. Louis traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Panthers are probably a better team than the Rams are, too. The Rams just have one huge flaw in that they can't defend the run. I look for Carolina to give the Rams a heavy dose of running the football, particularly with Cam Newton and DeAngelo Williams. And I look for that defensive front with Star Latulippe and Greg Hardy to take over and to force some turnovers from St. Louis. San Diego, Jacksonville. Jacksonville is horrible. San Diego wins, end of discussion. Then we have San Francisco traveling east to take on the Titans in the Music City. Tennessee's had a good season, but you have Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, and that's not going to cut against the 49ers defense. I know they don't have Alden Smith. I know they're still hurting in the secondary. They don't have Deshaun Goldson anymore, and Patrick Willis is still not himself. Doesn't matter. The Titans are going to beat them. The Titans are going to lose because Ryan Fitzpatrick's not going to beat that 49er front with Justin Smith. Cleveland at Green Bay. It's going to be a closer game than people think, not like a 2-touchdown or 3-touchdown win, maybe like 8 or 9 points. That doesn't sound like much, but consider it's Cleveland and Green Bay. You'd figure in the past it'd be like a blowout. Green Bay's not that good right now, and they're down to like 1 or 2 wide receivers in their active depth chart. I like Green Bay to take this game, but in a close one. Houston at Kansas City. Houston at Kansas City. Well, Houston's the most disappointing AFC team this year by far. Kansas City been the most surprising and the second best in terms of record. I like the Chiefs' pass rush to get after Case Keenum in his first NFL start. Denver at Indy, Peyton Manning's return home to the place where he played from 98 to 2010. I like Denver to take a victory because I think their offense right now is on a completely different level. I think that Indy's defense is really going to have some challenges defending Peyton Manning through the air and also no Sean Marino on the ground. I like the Broncos. I already said Pittsburgh would beat Baltimore, so the Monday night game, give me the Giants to beat the Vikings because I know the Giants are 0-6 and the Vikings have a win, but the Giants are due for a win right now because Eli Manning's bound to have a good game without a turnover sooner or later. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When I get back, everybody's favorite part of my shows, my 5 bold predictions. I'll be right back.
inside.